Obviously the superior vessel, you saltwater swilling ninny.
We'll see how long your galleon stays afloat when I take aim with a double bronzer. A new arrival? Good! Maybe you can help us settle a disagreement.
I say the Valian galleon is the best ship on the seas, while this uncultured swine champions the raw Italian junk.
Junk can hold more cannons, more deckhands, and more crew.
Tack's better, too. A junk could outrun a galleon any day.
The galleon has a stronger hull.
At the cost of its sails, which fall apart in a light breeze.
You see our predicament?
It's not the power. It's the firing speed that makes all the difference.
What did I tell you? If the junk is good enough for the Aedyr and envoy, it's good enough for anyone.
One of these days I'll prove you both wrong. On the open seas, a squall filling my sails.
Here, you can have the coin I bet on this argument. Matters less to me than being right.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, even if they're wrong. With all the new folks in town, it's been harder to get a good day's catch.
We'll have to throw the lot out.
Damn it! That's the third this month. I leave offerings every week. Why is Ondra still angry with us?
This is more than Ondra's doing.
You mean that plague from beyond the hills? It can't have... Can it?
Aye, probably not. Still, maybe we ought to burn the nets.
I'll keep praying. We didn't do anything wrong.
There's a curse on these waters. This is more than bad luck. An old fisher knows.
Welcome, Aedyr. Something you need? You have that look about you. You carry yourself like you have something to teach us. I don't mean anything by it. Your money spends as good as anyone else's.
Right behind you. Coming from your right! Left flank!
Beyond sync!
That's one for us.
Your boy's lack of trust is going to get them killed.
All gotta die somehow.
Is someone there? Huh. I heard something. I knew it! Taking on the one up. Not hitting hard enough.
Beyond sync!
Let's see what you got.
Beyond sync!
What's the target? Even here, you can't beat the view. Don't worry, this place is sturdier than it looks.
Little shits! Flying rats! What else are you gonna take? Stay back! They might circle around. I don't want you to get hurt. It's the damn gulls! I can't go outside without them attacking me. Helios cursed me. The birds never let me rest. When they're not pecking me, they're stealing from me. No matter where I go. I've dealt with seabirds my whole life. This is no coincidence. Last year, my crew and I ran aground off of Wakara Reef. We thought we dashed on rocks. They were the ruins of a shrine. Ever since that night, her minions have been picking us off, one by one. I'm the last one left.
Sailors and our superstitions. I'm not saying that's true, but I'm not saying I'd risk it either.
What else could this be but a curse? We may have been carrying some ill-gotten goods. Now Heliod's birds are plundering us in return. They've got my crew's swollen nets. The one treasure I have in this world, but no, I can't even keep that. I've climbed rigging for years. It's not like I can't fetch them myself, but what if the birds knock me off? They're medallions, small, nothing valuable. Sailors in my, alliance. Make them to identify themselves. You're right. I suppose if you're godlike, a few birds wouldn't scare you. I'd start looking in high places around the Shantytown. I don't know why they line their nests with them, but I bet that's where they are.
Hope you're limber and light on your feet. Oh, and don't mind getting pecked.
Wish you could move back into Paradise?
Of course. Nothing out here.
You take that back. There's some good people here.
Yeah, all getting robbed by the liars and thieves.
has to be around here somewhere.
Cheap wares for cheap folks. No one tops my prices, guaranteed. Supplies you need for prices you can afford.
Any luck with the search? 4. Remember, look for the nests. They shouldn't be hard to see. They're shiny. Any luck with the search? Well, not the gods. Thank you. Let me see them. I should have known. Everyone in this dump has a price. There you go. Just one more thing. All this time, I've been sure this was Helia's doing, but maybe it's just superstition. Do you really think the gods curse us over past mistakes? They do, don't they? You know, it's kind of a relief to think that we're beneath their notice. How'd I ever end up here? The Living Lands was supposed to be about fresh starts and new adventures, but just look at this dump. Thanks for the swollen nets, and for taking a weight off my shoulders.
Finally, another customer. Come in. Oh, it's you. No, I'm just not used to seeing people like you. I would have swept if I'd known you were coming. And unpretentious godlike. The Living Lands really does have everything. Anyway, what are you having?
No offense meant, but I need to keep this area clear. Please step away. If you must know, I am searching for an item of great import. Life and death, you might say, if you ask my wife. I seem to have lost my wedding ring down the latrine. It simply must be around here somewhere. Indeed, that's the one. Please, give it to me. Pirates and mercenaries, all. Fine. Here's what I can spare. In return for the ring, which belongs to me, I might add. Thank you ever so much. Take these coins and may the gods watch over you.
The downside of Aedyr's new arrivals. Paradise doesn't have room for everyone.
Welcome to Paradise, Envoy. The ambassador's expecting you.
Good work out there, Envoy. Only just arrived and you're already the talk of the town. Well, the ambassador ordered me to give you free access to the city. No idea why he's calling the shots all of a sudden, but...
That sounds ominous.
Anyway, you can go on ahead. The ambassador's expecting you. Once you're in the city, you'll find the Aedyr embassy due north of the gatehouse. Take care, Envoy.
What? No parting words from me? After all the time we spent together?
Shove off, Muttonhead. How's that for a parting word?
With talk like that, it's no wonder the Aedyrans think we need a little civilizing. At least I'm in good company now. Right?
I think we're done here.
Envoy!
You should not be here. You should be free, whole, the blood feeding your veins. Why are you here? The arrow struck. Then your soul found us, here in the emptiness, where the gods live and the dead wait. A cage, a prison. We feel the souls of multitudes, a current beneath the skin of this place. We could dip our hand in once, feel them near us. But now, we are trapped like wasps in amber. But you should be alive. Our beloved, they stole the bloom from your branch. An arrow broke the skin. It carried poison to your veins. A festering blot of corruption spread through the root and sap. It stilled your heart. It silenced the song in your mind. They hurt you, but we do not hear rage hissing in you like a serpent. Why? Soften. Quiet. You would accept the winter before spring, but you do not understand. Your soul is imprisoned here, as are we. But we can help you. We could send you back. Just this once. The minnow can slip the fisher's net, even while the prize remains. And the fox chews its leg off to escape the hunter's snare. It is the only way. We will use our waning strength to free you. Then you must find us. Free us from our prison. Immensely. Breathe deep. All birth is agony.
You're awake? Thank the gods. For a second there, I thought I had a problem on my hands. You're alive, somehow. That's what counts.
Glad to see you with us. I was sure you were already on your next trip around the wheel, but I brought you here just in case. If anyone can work a miracle, it's Liviana, though whatever restored you is beyond even her skill. The streets have been less murderous since your ambassador and his guards took up residence. But your assassination is bound to upset that uneasy peace.
There's something I still don't understand. Envoy, you died. A resistance to poison isn't a resistance to the beyond.
What does this mean for her? Should she expect anything else strange? Other than coming back from the dead, I mean.
That depends on a few things. Visions and hallucinations? Likely. Manifestations of past lives? Uncommon, but possible.
Ah, look at us, rambling on like you're still a bloodied corpse.
This is far beyond my expertise. You should visit Runid, our local watcher. She would know what to make of your strange, stubborn soul. One who sees into the spirit realm, speaks to the dead, and knows the past through their eyes. A watcher examines the soul down to its very core. I can't think of anyone more qualified for the job. Runid's shop is in the hills to the northeast. A bit of a walk. Just head out of the gate to the east of town and follow the path that curves to the north. It should be perched up in the hills. Oh, but avoid the Watcher in Hightown. She's a known charlatan. I'll send word to the ambassador that you survived, but he'll no doubt want to talk to you. Head up the stairs outside my clinic and take a left onto the main road. That'll get you to the embassy. Apologies. Paradise is a bit of a maze, especially to newcomers.
Don't worry. I know my way around. Which is why I should go with you. Your assassination is bound to have stirred things up. Don't mention it. Besides, I don't want this to blow up any more than you do. The sooner we solve your murder, the better for everyone. And we should talk back at camp. I'm hoping you can help me understand what just happened to you. Things are bound to be tense after Claviger Aemon's death.
Hey! I had a dream about you. In my dream, you were surrounded by light, but it was shining from inside. You weren't alone either. There were others. Some of them loved you, others were afraid of you, but they all followed you. Also, there was a tree that wasn't a tree? Oh, it made sense at the time. I can't remember anymore. It's a pity dreams aren't made to last. Liviana didn't think you'd make it, but she never gave up on you. I'll pull through. Liviana's taking good care of me.
This may not be the prettiest part of town, but it's got the grinning Valor Rock.
You saved my life. He would have killed me, and all for a few coins.
Think nothing of it. Any law-abiding citizen would have done the same. Nothing to see here, envoy. The situation's under control. I caught this waste of life mugging a protected citizen. I just did what came naturally.
I thought all Paradisans were protected citizens.
These things happen from time to time. Inquisitor Ludwine understands. I assume you do too. So that's how it is. All right then, whatever you say. We aren't exactly trained to de-escalate, but I'll tell the others. They'll come around, eventually.
Not sure she'll take it to heart, but even one good example helps.
Paradis is getting more dangerous by the hour.
Absolutely sure you know what you're getting into?
I came here, didn't I? Now, will you do the job or not?
Your husband is a hard man to touch.
I can pay whatever you ask. That'll teach him not to run off with my inheritance.
You there? Are you just going to stand there and gawk at that body all day?
You, what are you doing? This is a crime scene. That's evidence.
Damn this city. Every day, someone new turns up dead.
Ah, I've seen worse. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Come on, boy.
so close. But what's the point?
You died. But you're here. Gods, am I glad to see you. I'll keep trying. But there's not much to be done for Fort Northreach.
Envoy, is it... It's really you? You're alive! When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? Homesick already? After what you've been through, I can't say I blame you. But there's work to be done on the frontier. Good work, and I need you here at my side. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. Did the Emperor send you with anything for me? Your writ of commission, perhaps? Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Aedyr Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation. With that, I have better news for him. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. Trust me, we'll get to that. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire. They were paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers hiding amongst the populace. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open.
All the more reason to strike first, or so the thinking goes.
Whatever their reason, we have to retaliate for the good of the Empire. I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the living lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisan rebels must face justice. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the living lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the living lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradise.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing, the health of your soul is another. You haven't seen what's really outside of these walls. Trust me, that bear was the least of it.
He's right about that much, Envoy.
Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it. Oh, I wish I could see the killer's face when they realize the hunter has become the hunted. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Ballarrock? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Tej.
I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
I didn't mean anything by it, Envoy. He's just curious company for you to keep.
Hey, somebody has to have the envoys back, because you all sure didn't.
No one expected the Envoy to get assassinated.
Exactly. Amateurs. Well.
Kai?
Come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballarrock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that. Yeah, but now you'll never think of Tej the same way again, will you? And now he'll never think of you the same way either.
Let's not make more of it than it was. I shouldn't have said anything. The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks.
It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem.
Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else?
The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend.
You're lying.
You sure about that?
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear.
That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy? Naturally, Mom. How can I help you? What would you like to know? If you're looking for a particular year, the first thing you should know about Paradise is that this isn't the kind of place where the locals keep records. And though it might be considered a distant backwater by the rest of the world, this city is the height of civilization by the standards of the living lands. As for who calls this place home, I suspect you could find a criminal, confidence man, or prophet from every civilization in the world here.
Hey, come on. You're gonna give the envoy the wrong idea. We've got draft dodgers, courtesans, and revolutionaries too. You know, all the fun people.
In any event, as far as I can tell, Paradise has been this way since its inception. Thus the eclectic display of architectural styles. If nothing else, this city is a reflection of the countless people who have passed through it on their way to the interior. Depends on who you ask. Ambassador Heelgard will tell you that our remit here is to establish a secure and orderly environment from which to engage in trade. Inquisitor Liudwin will tell you we're here to break the frontier.
So, which is it?
Why not both? That's where you come in. Whether you find your desires aligning with the ambassadors or the inquisitors, neither can succeed until the Dream Scourge is ended. We are only beginning to see its effects here in Dawnshore, but the closer to the center of the island you go, the worse it gets. That bear you and the ambassador encountered in the Strangle Route isn't even the worst of it, and the tide of this soul plague is rising higher every day. Look, for all that I complain about this backwater, there are good people here, same as anywhere else. People who want to be able to walk to the market in the morning for their bread and eggs and know they won't be mugged. People who like it when the mail comes on time, and their skates are made from real copper, and their neighborhood peeping Tom ends up in the stocks. Those people, good and honest people, who pay their debts and honor their contracts and remember to thank the gods, they like us a lot. The Resistance, as such, are largely a group of misfits and criminals intent on undermining the rule of law. They take out loans with small Aedyr and banking houses and do not pay them, then assault the bankers who attempt to collect. They agree to contracts with families in Aedyr seeking homes, and when their ships arrive, promptly abandon them. When we levy a small tax to fund the repair of city roads, they set our counting house on fire. And when our fishermen return to port, they board their ships and sink them.
That's certainly one way to characterize them. It's not exactly wrong, but it's not exactly right either.
For decades, people like them ruled this city through fear. We imposed order, and now they oppose us. You, unfortunately, were caught in the crossfire. Of course. There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific? Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Aedyr is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographers Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of their globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds. The Living Lands are located in the far north of Eora. Aedyr is southwest of the Living Lands, situated along the equator. The Living Lands are more arid than Aedyr, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the Living Lands are a place of extremes. Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow. While east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes. I'll share what I can. There is no singular authority in the Living Lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the Living Lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Suoles, Thirdborn, and Suoles. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise. Fior-Messaverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the Republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fior is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fior's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fior. The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Dyrwood. The Republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colony saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Dyrwood did from Aedyr. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the Republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the Republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky to have had no interest in the Living Lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that. By all means. Should you ever need me, I will be here. Safe travels, envoy.